There. That's pretty good. He blends right in. What is going on, geeks? Unite the Clans here, back in your life with some Ark Building Evolved. Take a look. Man, it is good to be back. I have made one video in the last 6 days. One. Real life has taken over, once again, as it often does, for people who do this YouTube thing part-time. Well, good news, guys. I'm going to be hopefully working more on this and less at my job because things are going well. But I wanted to come back to you today and be excited and to be ready, and I have been goofing off. I've been doing some building. I'll show you, and we're going to be doing some building together today. I wanted to get prepped so we could have a really good episode, and I think I have one in mind. I think we're going to be doing a little change of pace. People want me to work on that. You guys want me to work on the church? We're going to work on something else. But before we do, if you are as excited for Building Evolved to be back as I am, click the like button. I never remember to ask at the beginning of the video, but I've been looking at the recent ones, and I used to ask at the beginning. I feel like 300. I feel like easily this episode, if I ask at the beginning, we could do 300 likes, and probably extra dislikes, but it's cool. So I've been building and I've been playing around here, guys. But before we start, I do like to mention this is a creative building series. This is my outlet. This is how I get to build everything I think I can build with our Ark Survival Evolved, basically. And this is a town we've been working on, Cole Harbour. It's got Structures Plus. We get eco trees. We have no collision, so basically you can have pieces intersect with each other. And then with Structures Plus, you can turn off foundation support. So basically, you can build out, you could just put a ceiling here and you could just build out. It wouldn't matter what was underneath it. So those are kind of the settings and the scenarios we have here. We're playing on the center, and that is where we are. And man, my map has disappeared. Quite strange, but that's where we are, if you care. And today we are going to be doing something cool, and I forget the best way to get there. So I think what we're going to do is travel up the canal. I got something to mention, guys. For me, getting back to this, it is a joy. If I'm not doing this every day, I'm stuck and I don't get to sit down and do this to play and to record. I'm hating life. I'm not as happy, and I have had a lot pulling me away from this channel the last little while, despite wanting to spend a lot more time on it. But we're back, and hopefully for the next few days, I'm going to be able to work on some great Ark stuff for you guys, and I feel like I need to pick up the pace. And a change of pace I mentioned for today, that is my plan. I want to work on something over here. And one thing, this boulder, I can't get rid of it. I got to figure out. So I'm on a brand new server. This is the same world, same save, and I've moved it from where it was with Host Havoc. Thank you for sponsoring me for a while, Host Havoc, to its new home with Logic servers. And Logic is sponsoring this and some of our Patreon servers as well. They're discounting those. So thank you to those guys. There's a link in the description if you guys ever want a server. You can get a big discount if you use it. But since we got over here to Logic, I now have stuff. I can't break rocks with a Doedicurus or with a pick. I gotta figure out what's up. I gotta ask Aurelia. I'm such a doofus when it comes to servers. It's amazing I can do this. And then this is a new bridge. Working on it. It's going to be a bigger, more impressive version. But for now, I'm just going to do something quick and easy. And I did a little these are double doors from Structures Plus. I did a little with that, and because there's no collision, those two things can go together, and you end up with some amazing looking stuff. Basically getting the most you can out of this game with building. I've got like some little natural features because I can't break that rock right now. I'm trying to build around it. And if you head over here, this is an area we had worked on a while back. And I wanted to clear out this stuff. I wanted to clear this all out and make room so that we could do some stuff up here on a big clean plateau. And right now I can't, and I can't get rid of this rock. And it glitches. I glitch into it, so I got to figure out what's up. My man Raleigh, I'm certain, can help me. But if you know, feel free to explain. Check these out. These are Adobe stairs, painted with silver paint. Yeah? The whole point of this series, maybe make you a better builder. So with Structures Plus, you can switch between a ramp and a stair, like so. And with the Adobe, that is going to be key. take a look at this, guys, because this is going to come into play with the build I intend to do today. And tell me what you think of it there. Does it work with the stone? Kinda. I almost match the color with silver. So that's it. But this is where I want to work. And actually, this is not the right timing. This is not the right timing at all. What we need is this and this. That's right. All right. So now it's dark. Now we can have a look around. I'll show you. That's where I want to work. Right there. Under the shadow of this redwood, and we're approaching our first tree platform with this build. We got a bunch of them up here. We just haven't gotten to building at any of them because we haven't reached that far. But I have been doing work. I've been like separating areas. I have been landscaping. So we have this. I did all the pre-work to get this in. And I think what we're going to do together is put a little gate in here. Which I'll show you how I want to make that work, and then we're going to come into this area, and we're going to have a little area to work on maybe for an episode or two. That'll be a little change of pace. It won't be quite the same style of building. So I haven't finished back here, so we don't really have a back, and I can't clear out trees this episode until I talk to a Raleigh. So we're going to have to build around them, but the mushrooms are the star here. I think there's a way to make the most of that. And maybe it's with a house right here. So we're going to work on that. It's going to include those Adobe stairs. So this is an S Plus build. But I want to take a break before we get to that. But I'm not ready to yet take a break. So let's turn on the HUD and let's do the first taste of building I will be attempting in today's episode. What are we? 5 minutes in? Not bad. 6.5 minutes in? I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So no collision basically means it means that if I wanted to build with a wall like this, I can just go straight into the ground, assuming that I can get this snap point here. But I mean, you see what I mean. Things can just be built on top here. So watch this. And then if I grab another wall. So this is a change you've had to make on your servers recently, whether you choose to do this or whether you don't. So that's what we have going on. And so we have that ability to clip into the ground. We also have with Structures Plus the ability to do half walls, which is like that. Half wall is a fascinating thing. I'm going to leave that as a railing, but what I want to try, if I can make it work, I have these double door frames, the wooden ones, and I'm wondering, okay, so maybe, oh yeah, that was it, okay. So I think I've seen I think the first time I saw this done was on my Patreon server with one of my patrons, and I wish I could tell you who did it. It was in Geeks Hala, which was like a little role-play village they'd built together. Okay, so we need to snap it on this, but on the bottom of this. So, there. Right? Okay. Are you guys seeing where I'm going with this? And you will in a sec if you don't. Okay, give me. I think that's the right angle. That is not going to be quite right. Whew. Okay. Alright, well let's try it anyway. Let's see. It's this? I think this is correct. And then, okay. And then now we're going to have doors that are embedded in the ground. And I'm going to try Adobe Doors. So there you go, guys. A little half-wall gate, and with auto open, auto close. I think I might try painting that and seeing if I can get it to match better. Or maybe we'll have a couple bright colors going on here. Maybe we'll do a mix of Adobe and wood. And that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to take a little break. If you haven't, obviously not everybody's playing with these exact same settings. You could if you went and got a server of your own. Hint, hint. But if you're not playing with these exact settings, I understand. I know a lot of people are playing on console and you can't build the way I'm building now. But I want to build the best way I can in this game. And right now, the coolest things I can do on this server, it means setting it up to do it like this, so I can clip into the ground, so I can have pieces clip into each other, so I don't need foundation support, so I can build the most amazing things ever. This is kind of a Minecraft version of Ark, and hopefully I will get other people playing like this, if you've got a computer that can handle this many structures in a small area. So let's take a break. I am going to prep, and we're going to work on a little cottage or a little house for back here, and hopefully it's the first of a few in this little area, and I want to incorporate these shrooms. So, BRB. Don't forget to like it, and I will be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. take a look. A little slate paint and a little mud paint. And that looks pretty good. I like that. And I took some vanilla foundations and I just started playing around with a couple ideas. And I'm thinking about a few small cottages. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up my view of the mushrooms. So what I'm thinking is I might try a build here, because I think that's a pretty good angle to be building up into those mushrooms. You know what? I might want to do a rearrange job right away. Before I do, I'm going to spawn in a bunch of building materials, and I was just thinking, because this is creative, because it's my server, because I am the admin, because we can spawn whatever we want, I had a vision for something that might look quite cool here, and you're going to have to bear with me, alright? That's right. Are you going to look right? A toad among the toadstools. Yes? Yeah. Come hither. There's a position to stop him where he's not in the middle of a toadstool. Stop. Right there. Right there. That is perfect. Now, I ain't done. Watch this. So let's try that. No. That. No. That. That. Alright, so that might be our color, guys. And I'm going to try to perfect it. I'm going to try to make him fit right in among these toadstools. There. That's pretty good. He blends right in. So Ark Commander lets me paint dinos super easily. And I think he might be perfect. Can I just... Oh, much too heavy. Alright, so we'll reposition him. What I'm going to do is jack up his weight. I'm going to take it up so he can carry lots. I'm going to load him up with a bunch of building materials. I'm thinking about wood with a little bit of Adobe, and those Adobe Ramp stairs are going to play a major role in the build. And I think what we'll do is that, and then we'll decide if it's sensible to have a building here. And I may reposition these foundations, because what if they came out like this? Okay. Well, let me go work on it, guys. I'm going to play around. I even hid some back here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to bring you along for a bunch of the building, okay? BRB. Okay, guys. I think fourth time logging on today. Have not accomplished anything. I keep logging on and having to log off to head over to the Patreon servers to sort out some issues we're having over there. So I did some building, and I actually did some recording at the end of the last day that I was recording. It's now been 8 days. One video, really. I had a bunch of old Suicide Guy ones I've been pumping out to make up for this rough patch, but I am back, and I'm cutting out that chunk that I already recorded because I didn't like the build and I didn't like my recording, and I want to bring you guys along for more of the ride. So what I'm doing here is greenhouse glass walls, and I'm flipping them inside out, and you're gonna see the method to the madness as we come along here. But I wanted to bring you guys, because I didn't love it at first. I now love this little house. I think I have a really special vision for it. We will see. But what we're doing here is basically an alternative way to make windows. And I did it at the very beginning of this series, the first build that we started in this series, which was the mountain cabin. And we did a technique a lot like this. So I wanted to get those in place. I have some other... And I think we might move this staircase. So let's take that, and let's do this, and let's actually pick this up. Alright, and maybe we will make our staircase here, although... Nope. Okay, well, here, give me a sec, I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so this greenhouse glass is up. It is not going to be the way that we do this house, though. The way that we are doing this house, and we will see if I can... Whoops, I don't know where that went. We'll have to solve that. Go there. And then what we're going to do is this. And I think flip this inside out as well. And that is the look that we are going to end up with. So, assuming I can get another ceiling in here. And there was a spot. Nope. There we go. And then look to here. Like so. And break that, and there we go, guys. So that is the beginning of how we are going to be transforming this what we now have now, which is sort of greenhouse looking, into a cottage. So everything is flipped backwards. So that's the normal way to do it. I flip it and then I look at my feet so that it snaps to this particular ceiling, like so. And I have another trick up my sleeves, guys. I have another, and it's a brand new trick. I have never really seen anybody do this, and I think this episode is going to give you 2 tricks you may never have seen. And the first one we will get to in a second here. In fact, we could probably get to now. So the key to this is making sure that you're snapping onto the greenhouse glass, and the way that you will tell is which direction that is facing. So I'm going to head to the inside, and we'll get this in place, and then I will show you that other trick, because that other trick is so cool. I'm going to be using it a lot. So, all right. So that is giving us the beginning of our design here. You are now going to get a look. That Adobe is definitely getting a coat of paint. And it's time now to attempt one of the cooler things you've seen, I hope. So we are going to be doing something really neat on this house. I was looking at a picture of a real-life house where on the main part of the house the boards go left and right, but down here by the foundation they go vertical. And I started thinking to myself, how could we make that happen? And it clued on me, it dawned on me. That is it. So let us attempt this, guys, with some stone double door frames, which I think I have here, and we're going to be trying to snap. It's going to be really important because we're going to have a bunch of snap points at this point. We're going to have to try and find, here, let's go to an area with simpler snap points. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to try that, and then we're going to do that. And we're going to try that, and we're going to do that. Yes, we're going to try that. And we're going to do that. Now, one thing that I think we're going to have to do is take out the foundations and replace them, because these are S+, so they're going to be on automatic, open and close. So what I think we're going to have to do is, because we have Structures Plus and because we have foundation support turned off, none of these walls will break when I do this. And actually, they may be supported from below now. With the no clipping, we can build right into the ground, but now we should be able to get down here and set this to manual so that every time we walk by, these doors aren't popping open. But that's a S+ double door. And let's, hold on, where do I have some wood foundations? Old school wood foundations, vanilla wood foundations. I have some. And so then we would be able to come in, place that back, boom, boom, and that's the beginning. And then if you come to the outside, we have got, whoops, I keep forgetting where the door is. Right, right here, the worst spot. What have I done? There we go. Perfect. So that is the look. And once we get some brown paint on there, getting that to match the wood, damn, is that going to be good. So my plan now is to finish up the main floor by doing this. Glass inside out with the inside out door frame snapped on the foundation next to it. I'm going to come through and replace all of these. I'm going to come through and do the foundations and make sure they auto-close. They're on manual. And then it's going to have to get some more Adobe. And I'll start showing you the shape and the design of the roof after I got this first tier of walls done. BRB. So welcome back, guys. I started this build with the vanilla foundations because I thought I liked the look of how they were going to work. I don't think I do anymore. I think this is better. I think this is very cool. And I think, what do we have enabled? I think you're about to see it. But what is important is to get these all switched from auto open close to manual. You had to go remove the foundations. And then now I can access S+ double door. Same deal with the paint. I am not able to paint it if there is a foundation in behind it. So what I'm going to do is come in here with ceiling. So what I did is actually put down a Structures Plus ceiling, or a Structures Plus foundation first, because they give you, instead of just this snap point, they give you, let's find it. Yeah, it's like they give you this snap point versus that snap point. So if I do it like this, we stay level. We shouldn't be bumping our head as we go through any doors, and we can take out these last vanilla foundations, and we can, as long as we make sure we are snapping to these ceilings and at the same height as these ceilings, which will be the challenge, I suppose. Let's see about getting it in there. Like so. So I'm going to put that in place, and then I have yet to show you guys the most important element of this build. And we're going to do that before we take a little break here. So let me throw this in the hotbar. We're going to go around and finish placing these. So I talked in the beginning of the video about some of the settings I have on this server, some of the builder-friendly deal that I've got, and it's funny. It's the way that Ark is going for a lot of people on PC. We are having to choose how we want to enjoy this game, and for me, this is my favorite part. The building system had to be preserved, so we have some changes and some additions. But if you need a place to play like this, everywhere I'm playing now is kind of like this. But if you need a place to play, this is basically the same settings that my Patreon servers are on, and that my patrons are playing on. So we now have that done. Let's come around the outside, and we'll see how easy it is if I keep 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this is going to be easy. I can come in and add some slate because that's what we did. This is just mud. On these front gates, we have mud and slate, which adds a little, you see it, a little hint of variation in there. So that's what we'll be doing, I think, once I figure out exactly how. But before we get to that, let's take a look at our new roofing materials. And I forgot about this. What we're going to want a ceiling, I think there. And then we should be able to snap up from there. Let's get inside. I'm trying to remember exactly the format I used to do this last time. No, that's not it. Okay. How did I do this? All right, well, walls will certainly work. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is instead of building our roof out of sloped roofs, we're going to be building it out of ramps, like so. And you go, interesting. That's a neat roofing choice. I've never thought of people doing that. Well, in vanilla, you can't because the ramps have a different angle than the slopes. But in Structures Plus, you can. And the even better part is this. Ready? Are you ready for this? Let's go. Adobe stairs, and they look like wood. It looks like a wood roof, I tell you. So I came to this game from Minecraft. I've talked about that. I want this game to be as much like Minecraft as I can make it, so I can enjoy it in the best way possible. And building with stairs as roofs has never made me feel more like I'm playing Minecraft. So let's go ahead and let's get region 4 as well, and let's see what this looks like. The little coat of paint. And this is the new roofing material. This is our new roofing material. Let's take those out. Let's back on up. I obviously need some paint on that Adobe. I'm thinking shades of green and brown. I'm thinking some forest green for these little vertical bits down there. And then a hint of forest green as highlight up in this business. But if we just go boom, boom, that's starting to look good already. Okay, so that is our future roofing material. I have doors to paint. Once I have, we are going to work together on this next stage of the build, so I'll prep everything I need and we'll come back. Why don't you take a break? If you guys enjoy this series, if you love this series, and you have friends that may also love and enjoy it, think about sharing it. It makes a big difference. There's playlist links at the top of the description, and you can always just click the share button under the video. That's it, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to take a little break, and we will get this place in tip-top shape. The next stage is going to be a dramatic change, so don't go anywhere. We will be taking care of business together in just a second. Alright, guys. Welcome back. I am liking how things are coming together here. We have got some things to do. Coat of paint has gone on over all this. Shades of brown, shades of slate, shades of mud, and I think there's enough variation, enough diversity that it really works. It really works underneath, and we now have obviously ceilings in here instead of foundations, and the one exception is here and here. You can actually see them stand out a little. There is a reason for that, and it's because I want to make some changes right here. We're going to be moving on to the next story of this building, and I think to do so, I'm going to want to get these out of here. And what we're going to be doing, is taking advantage of something that Structures Plus gives us. The half wall. And we're going to be able to do something that I have always wanted to be able to do simply and easily with Ark. And let's make sure we select the right thing here. Switch that into a half wall. Okay, so now what I want to do is that. Yeah, like that. What do you think about that? How good is that? They're going to be raised up at a different height than the others. And so what I'm thinking is, if we can't, we'll see. We'll see if I can make this work. But why don't we do this again and this again? And now we have a wall that is exactly 2 walls high. However, here, let's do that. So you can see if I place one right here, same deal, same height. However, by using half walls above and below, we now get these windows at a really unique height, which would mean I need to put some greenhouse glass back up in there. Let's get on the inside and take a look and make sure it's snapping where we want it to. I think it would be there, and there, and I think that's right. I believe that to be right. Okay, now I think I need to do some work, guys. I think I need to step away from you and make some things happen here. What I have in mind is a shape not unlike this. Give me, that was the left. Give me the right. I have a shape not unlike this in mind. So we're going to come down like this, and then over here. Okay, so over here, this peak of the house, I'm thinking I'm going to be doing more of the Adobe like that, so I'm not going to get too carried away because that will have a different snap point. But that is the shape I want to work on for the house. I want to be able to come, through here and sort of create a shape like that, where the roof is sloping up in two different directions away from this corner of the house. I may have to make a couple slight changes to the way that we've done things, but give me a minute, guys. I will be right back with you. All right, guys, vast progress. Vast swaths of this thing are coming into, they're coming to life. They're coming into effect. And I think as long as I can properly do this consistently across here, I think we're about to add in some ramps and about to add a whole lot of roof into this. So this is work in progress. I have not done a build quite like this before, and I certainly have not done a roof like this. This is all new to old UTC. So be patient with me, guys, but I'm going to keep you with me as we try and hammer some of it in, and we'll see how well it all goes together. I like it so far, though, and I'm having to work out. There's one tricky bit of this design I didn't quite do right. I didn't quite do how I had drawn in my sketches lying in bed last night, and that is often where my designs come from. I'll look at a picture, I'll go, how do I break that picture into a thing in the game, and I will go from there. So now that those are in place, I think we can come across like so. So normally, I would have roofs intersecting here. I'm not sure exactly how it'll work with ramps. I think I know how it'll work with ramps. Stairs, to be specific. And we'll swap these all over. These will end up getting a coat of paint. And I think I'll probably do the same variation on them, where we use some mud, we use some slate, and we use some brown. But let's actually try that out. So this is brown coloring. I think region 1 is all you need to paint. Region 2, right? Yes, so that's brown. All right, let's do a strip in brown. All right, let's go slate. We'll enable region 2, not 3. And that's the slate. And everything you paint Adobe-wise has a brown color to it. So those are really not that different compared to how they get painted on other things. And then mud, which is traditionally in between these two. It's a very dark brown. So let's pull you up. That ought to be mud coloring. We ought to enable region 2. Yes, and there you go. So those are our 3 colors. Mud, slate, and brown. And they're barely frickin' noticeable, eh? Here, let's, yeah. So that's fascinating. So we could do some really fun stuff with this. What I do need to work out is this area. How is this all going to come together? Let's get some walls in place here. Well, let's just try ramping off here so that I can get a feel for this thing. I think I got to go here too. I got to go all the way back. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I'm keeping you guys with me. We're figuring it out live right now. Is that going to be right? It is going to be right, I think. So what we're going to want to do is, actually, let's come out here. Let's continue our ramp here, and let's actually put one here just for a sec. And then we'll get up, we'll take you down, and we'll be on the roof. Perfect. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. This series compared to... idiot. This series compared to... idiot. Compared to the building tutorials is very different. I'm not taking you through every single step of the way, but what I am hoping to do is to inspire you to change the way you look at this game, to change the way you look at pieces you have always used in this game, and okay, so here is where a man runs into some trouble. Maybe only half this roof can be Adobe stairs, I say as I Alright, because what's going to happen... I am a little bit confused, guys. I have done this before. I swear I have these intersecting at other parts of the city. Switch to stairs. Switch to stairs. But right now, it's going no. Don't intersect. You can't intersect. Why is that? Yeah. I knew it. This is all I'm trying to do. Why did that work? This didn't. Is it the triangle? Is it? Could it be? This is supposed to work, I think. No. Weird. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to do this, guys, because I thought I could intersect two ramps to get... Shoot. I thought I could intersect two ramps to get this effect. But I may have to go get creative up on that roof. So let me go play around. I will be right back. Let's head back to that mushroom cottage and back to the project we've been working on today. Alright, guys, check it. Looks a little derpy from the inside, as intersecting sloped roofs always are. Doing it with ramps, same deal. I'll show you how I solved it. And by the way, all the greenhouse stuff now has brown paint on it. We got mud on a lot of this stuff. And I put in window frames instead of walls in these spots and went and substituted some wooden windows in there. But come on out and tell me what you think. You know what we used. A sloped roof ramp combo. It is not perfect, and it's not what I had in mind. If you want to make sure your ramps can intersect like that, it's a Structures Plus thing, I guess. For some reason, on a right angle, they won't do it. On this 1/6 angle, they will. So, build your house with these triangle foundations and these sort of proportions and directions in mind, and you shouldn't have trouble. These two go together brilliantly. But if I were to build off on a direct right angle like this and try and intersect, it didn't want to play along. So this house has a couple neat features. It has this, obviously, this sunken gate, and we took that technology, that science, and we brought it to this house, and we used it as the foundation. And that is one of the cooler things I've come up with. The last change we are going to make is, since I have introduced the Adobe, the reddish color of the Adobe, I do just want to have a quick look and see what brick is going to look like in place. Nah. I don't like it. It doesn't look quite right. So that is something you could play with. If I were changing that, if that has to go to brick, then this wood strapping up here has to go to brick, and I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and keep this in mud. And guys, I think mud, brown. Oh, I did random colors. Okay, so it works anyway. So guys, I think we did it. I think this house is officially complete. This is our, what do you call this? A forest cottage. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. We got our little Beelzebufo. Give me a name suggestion for him in the comments, and let me know what else to add to this area. Where do we go next? What do we add? This is a perfect spot for another little cottage, and I think we will probably work on this area for a little bit. For now, I'm taking this out, and guys, I think that does it for this episode of Ark Building Evolved. Let's get some music playing. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for hanging out, guys. Tell me what you think. Do you dig this? Is this one of the coolest new techniques? Which one do you like more? This or this? Yeah, that is a cool roofing material, and I am in love. I am having fun with it. I know if you're not playing with Structures Plus, you can't do this stuff, but either get a server of your own or come play on one of my Patreon servers and build just like this. I dig it. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'm UniteTheClans. This is Ark Building Evolved. More episodes coming your way soon, and I'll be back in your life in the next one.
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, there live a happy little mountain.